Hey everyone, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all the video sequences that I shot. 3 are from the air and 1 is at ground level, and just kind of go over what my experiences were as they were happening. So enjoy this. All right, here we go. Okay, so this is what I love about Montana. I'm driving to meet Ralph, right? And so I'm driving along and I see this eagle, and it's perched upon and flying upon these ponderosa pines really close to where I live. And what I find so interesting about it is that you know, it was looking for prey, and it's an apex predator, and it was just majestic. And so for me to be able to start my day out with this sight was inspiring. Look at that thing fly. And it was just such an amazing moment for me, even though I had to capture it from my Samsung Galaxy Edge 7, or I mean Note 7, or yeah, Edge 7, from my car. Then I went to a mill that was in Whitefish, Montana, and as you can see, this aerial video that I was able to capture really turned out interesting, because this is the area that I actually grew up in Whitefish, Montana, and this is an oil train. So this these black oil box cars carry about 3,500 gallons of oil, and I just found the whole thing super cool to be able to get this visual perspective of both the oil cars as it was moving, and the black oil car itself had the snow on top of it, and everything was snowed in, as you can tell. And of course, Whitefish Lake, this is there was only 2 days last year that it was below zero, and there's been like over 25 days this year. And so as you can see right there, Whitefish Lake is completely covered in snow. So I gave a different perspective, and I panned the camera down because I wanted to capture the train as it was moving over the river as it points to the viaduct or towards town in Whitefish. I'm about 2 miles out from Whitefish, the main city. And so I'm about 310 feet at this moment. And I just really got excited to be able to fly in this particular 21-degree temperature weather, which is a little risky in terms of just the battery doesn't last as long. So as you can see the river, and then I'm panning the camera up. It's really exciting times. Yeah. So then, yeah, so basically the landing at this point, as you can tell, I'm landing it very quickly, and what I do is I have a landing pad that I created so I can take off from, but then when I actually land the quad, I catch it. Now I'm going up to the golf course in the parking lot in the back, and that's the Whitefish Lake Golf Course, Lakeside 9 it used to be called, and that is exactly where that arrow is the property that we actually grew up. We had 5 acres right there on Ramsey Addition, and this is Birch Point Drive. And this is particularly the visual that I had pretty much the 17 years of my young life growing up. So I lived in a really, really fortunate area. Now again, I'm panning the camera over, and we're a little bit farther away from the Whitefish River that's not frozen in at this point, as you can tell. Then I pan the camera down, and that's the Whitefish Cemetery in Whitefish, Montana, of course. And so I thought that was interesting to be able to see it from that perspective. And then I land my quad, and before I do one last panoramic of this lake. I don't think I could ever get sick of looking at the Whitefish Lake. Doesn't matter what season it is, as long as it's not raining. Now we have oh yeah, this is interesting. This particular portion of the video is a GoPro camera that's stuck in the snow as it shows me taking off from Depot Park in Whitefish, Montana, to get a nice, safe visual perspective of both the Whitefish and Kalispell. Now, you're going to see here really quick as I'm in the air, that's Whitefish, and it's at night, and I couldn't get over it. It was just such a very pretty view of Whitefish in the winter, and you can even see Kalispell in the far off distance. And I'm flying to the left, and I'm not really flying into the town, of course. I just safety first always. So but yeah, so I was really excited to be able to get this evening perspective in the early January, just to show the snow and what it looks like with all the Christmas decorations up. And so I set my camera to be able to capture both the lighting and the contrast of the black to the whites as far as it related to this night scene. Really excited about this perspective. It was 9 degrees, so it was only about a 14-minute to and from. In other words, from setup to completion and back in the car, because there's no time to just hang out because it's so incredibly cold. In fact, it was so cold I couldn't. Oh, that arrow that you see, that blue one, is where Kalispell was. Anyway, so it was so cold that I actually couldn't even take a photograph. I just had to keep the video going because the phone at this point, the kiosk, was not even working. So I'm just descending now, and you can see the blue lights of the Christmas tree by the railroad there. And then of course I'm bringing it in for a catch landing so it doesn't kick up the snow onto the rotors, which can cause water damage. And I hope you enjoyed this this particular voiceover related to the places that meant so much to me growing up. Thank you, and stay tuned for tomorrow. Bye for now.